There is a solemn creed, and I want you to carry it and bear it because it is yours. You have spoken these words upon arrival. To my fellow gods in the land of the lost, leave me be. I beseech thee, I beg of ye, to leave me be. For my glory is my own to behold, without the tainted compassions of humanity, without the woes and the income of salvation needed in my times of peril that are of the beauty of my own resolve. I need nothing from you, for I am the experience of myself, and you will only darken my light with your idiosyncrasies of atrocities that you view me as. I am the picturesque of bliss. I'm the oblivion everlasting. Do nothing for me, my friends, my lost, my innocence, for I shall become me again, and I am not lost. I am not extinguished. I am. These are your words. The innocence that you have is the playground that you have chosen. There is no meaning. There is no this leads to that, except the truth of it. It was never dependent on time. It was created in the moment. You have put together your story with the everlasting materials of creation to form into color, solids, liquids, hots and colds, goods and bads. Every day you wake up with the creative mind of the most passionate artist you can imagine. You have your drawing board and an infinite number of pens and pencils and paints. And every day you decorate. You hone your craft. You become a better creator, an experiencer of being, not by effort, by default, by existence. I have no passions for nothing else, for I draw myself into slumber. I paint myself rich, and I erase myself when I am poor. I rebuild myself with the pens of effort, the dark and the light, coming together to shade me, to make me simple. And then as I grow in my confidence, once again, I will paint myself in many colors, and I will become vibrant and bright until I can't see how shiny I am. And I shall erase myself. I shall collapse. I shall extinguish myself from the penmanship of my own writings. And I will start anew. Every day, every time I wake up, every now, I have erased myself and birthed myself. Every single second I can imagine. I write my story saying this has something to do with that. Speak. Stand by. Get that. Sorry, guys. The what? The refrigerator? It's, come here. The refrigerator's working, but it leaks.
Oh, it's leaking?
And then what happens is all this gets wet. It starts to get hot. And then it leaks, and then it starts again, over and over and over and over and over again.
It's leaking.
It's only leaking inside, and then this melts. You understand? It's cold now, but it cycles.
Oh, okay. Check right now.
Okay?
Yes.
Go ahead. Stand by. Ice cream. Gotta love ice cream. You put it inside there, yeah? Do you really think that you are in pain? Don't you know you draw yourself in pain? You color yourself with the blues, and you have the decree of dependencies upon a language of separation, and you color your palette with verbs and adjectives and nouns. What are these things? They're images that you crawl upon every day, and you wrap yourself in them. You really think this is a bad place to be? You, the creator, sitting upon a stool, having its wonderful artistry table in front of it, an architect table, a drawing table. Some of you have Cokes and coffee. Some have cigarettes and alcohol. Every day you wake up, you prepare yourself, and you start. You do your thing.
No.
Leave us alone, is what you say to us. And I am you. Do you get it? Or are you still caught up in the dream, thinking that you're not being drawn every day, thinking that you, with your own conscious self, is grabbing on to the end of the pen and going for a ride and saying, this is real. Yes, it is. Because you're both. Now, is that limited? Or is that unlimited? Not only are you both, but you have the ability to be both at one time now. Your pity is your own. Your story you tell your friends with compassion is your own story. See, you drew them to have feelings, vibrations. Your little fractal mind thinks they should respond some way, but see, you drew in your fractal mind to have a surprise, to have disappointment. Because your vibration tells you how the pen shall be drawn. Do you get that? Do you get that? Do you think the craftsman upon the table has intention? Do you think the craftsman, you, have an intention when the now is just everlasting and fleeting, with no secondary idea of what was? When you are now just creating naturally? Okay. Why would you ever help him? See, Roxanne tried to help her mother this weekend. Got mad because she saw something. You're driving in the car, and there was a chance. Mom always leads into one story of pity. She always throws out little casting lines, and every now and again she hooks Roxy. Because Roxy is a dependency on the real reality that lies within her. Something that is what you would call coalesced. But not quite, is it? Because she had a reaction. Now, is this reaction drawn by the purposeful idea to give you pain by an angry God called you to show you lessons of the day, you fucking arrogance? Is how you draw yourself. See, you give yourself purpose. Roxy gave herself purpose. There was an opportunity for my mom, is what she said, to go to Greece. She had discussions with herself. See, she was feeling guilty about her reaction, but her reaction was her truth, and that's what she found. Everywhere you draw your picture, as Rose found out, get off the fucking bus. Everywhere you draw your picture, there's always a vibration of absolutely both in the one moment of now. The self that you become one, two of you uniting. Rose, you did not feel empty or separated. Your mind felt empty and separated because you were no longer the value of the result of your brushes, your paints, your story time. You became the teller. And Roxy saw that in herself and started to understand. She was telling her mom, go to Greece. You have an opportunity. Someone's going to pay. Go to Greece. And she made up excuses. Your father, this, that. And Roxy lost it because she's holding herself back from her freedom to find joy. And then she remembered the decree. Leave me the fuck alone. Her mom's fractal seeks the brush of pity. Mom's holes say, get the fuck away from me, Roxanne. Let me enjoy my brushings. Don't you see? Don't you remember the decree? I am not lost, nor will I be ever in peril. I am the beauty of my artistry, and you come and erase my lines with your dirty eraser of compassion? And she saw it. Roxy, through her own drawings, has found a truth that has no decree of polarity or measurement. It's leave me alone, for I am feeling my pain finally in a way of truth. I can speak those painful words. To remember I am the decree of myself. That I do not need to worry about me. And it doesn't mean about them. There's no ties here. Don't you see what you're doing today? You're painting a picture. You're telling a story. You're the author and the subject. You're writing you into history. Every action, every truth, every expression is your tapestry, woven in the fabric of life that is forever. And you have meaning and cause and effect because you are beautiful. You have attachment to those ideas of reasons and wants and meaningfuls. And I wonder what that means in time. You have these decrees. This is the beseechment of humanity. Leave me alone and let me find my artistry. Let me erase my lines. Let me destroy myself. Let me recreate myself. For this self that is your image is yet but a drawing, a thought, a dream. It is penned by the Master, you see, deep within your eyes, past your bullshit self of soulful, of imagery. It's beyond it. It kind of fades, doesn't it, as you travel deeper? The lines kind of disappear. There's no more edges, no more cold or hot. See, Rose claimed it as I feel separated, even from creation, because she was not validating separation. Therefore, she cannot feel what she was. Oh, but certainly she felt what she is, because she was no longer painted, drawn. She became the decorator. There's nothing you need to do, ever. You are a creator. Right? You see, you're provided a vibration. See, that's your natural. And that, out of vibration, you pull how you feel about the drawing. See, vibration gives you the rights to feel about the drawing that you have colored, edged, erased, transmuted, transcended, collapsed, destroyed, and birthed once again. All in the same now. Your feeling is your vibration. You guys are tonal. You guys are light. You guys are vibration. You are beyond. Right? Or are you still stuck as the story? Because the story feels as the innocence everlasting. That's why you love it here. That's why you keep choosing to cause and effect and polarize yourself, because you have a taste. Oh, the fractal knows something. Innocence. I know not what I do. How perfect. Then you are the full experience of surprise, of elemental, of justified, of victimized. Your perils, your emotions, that's what you get, because you are God. You are the creator. The creator just gives you vibration. It gives you colors. It gives you blues and blacks and reds and golds. It gives you all the meaning just because you arrived. It gives you words and labels and language and indistinguishable feelings that you try to hold on to, try to corral, but yet you can't. And that's your fuel. That's your vibration. That's the source. And you are at the end of it resulting yourself of your own vibration. And through your interactions of swimming upstream, effort and hard, you have found that you are the stream. Because every time you turn around and flow, you give yourself a break and you feel good. But then that innocence of what's up there, that intrigue of swimming against yourself, you must find it. And all of these are not cause and effect. They are not meaning and purposeful. They are not outcome. They are not glories. They are not this and that. See, all that's the story. Humanity's in a world of story time. We all are, aren't we? You guys have futures. You guys have futures beset by validations. Bashar, Cryon, Ramtha, Abraham. Are those stories real? Aren't they just a book you may open or pass by on the library shelf? Do you want these stories of hope? Do you want humanity to be rescued from its own peril? Do you want to find another way to heal the world? That is your story. I am the healing of the world. Isn't that the pure selfish that you get to experience? That you can image yourself as an own savior? Mass contact, alien interactions, Akashica, the universe, stories drawn by a pen to God of exquisite caliber. Your decree is the discovery of innocence. Leave it the fuck alone. Leave your neighbor alone. Leave your people alone. Let them have their agony. Let them have their pain. Because they came here to feel alive in no other way possible. And you come with your selfish acts of healing. You become preacher robed in garments of fantasy, of attraction, of admiration, of hope, of egoic structures, of the innocence in and of itself, and the attachments take place, and everyone has a new story. And you think there's actually a meaning behind it. The meaning is I get to be innocent. The meaning I get to feel alive this way. Story time. Story time. Time to write your next story. That's it. So I would tell you these words. My lost, I am a creator. There is no difference between me and you. None. Zero. I am at the end of my brush painting my story today. I am the unum of one. I have no separation between me or my brush, my paint, or the story being told, or the storyteller expressing. Your innocence keeps you here, there, and everywhere. It keeps you lost and found. Your innocence is providing you with an experience that is immeasurable. I would ask yourself to do yourself a favor from the messengers of the lost gods, if you will. Leave yourself alone. You're not broken. Live it. Live every aspect of it. And then you will know yourself, if you choose, as the poet, as the Rembrandts, as the exquisite artist laying its expression upon life for others to behold themselves in equal. Roxy is a bit of a storyteller. So are you. The one you're telling yourself today. Go ahead, try to figure it out. Story time. That's all. Try to make sense of it. Oh, story time. That's all. Innocence. Innocence. Be that of innocence lost to know you are the sculptor. To know that you are the Da Vinci's. You know what they did? Your pallid history of focus, of admiration, the ones you say, look at them. Do you know what they did? Can I tell you? They expressed their innocence. They were not afraid. See, when you are afraid, that is expressing your innocence, is it not? See, that's your sculpted work. That's your work. That's your tapestry. That's your story. And then when you reason and logic, this means that and that means that because this has happened then. There is no then, there is only now. And see, that's your sculptor sculpting. And you are going to observe yourself in claymation, receiving the vibration of your choice on how to tell you, you telling you the story. You're vibrating your truth. It all comes back to you. Oh no, not everybody has got a body like you. Oh, George expressed that rough beard, that tight ass. Was not afraid, was he? But I wonder if that story of George is better than yours. I'm wondering, do you tell yourself a story that is less than the other stories around you? Now that, see, that is the exquisite artistry. Your Princes and your Steve Jobs and your Da Vinci's and your Alan Watts. See, these people you decree in ownership have less light than you in a polarized world. See, you're shining brightest by being your most exquisite pain. Don't you see that? You're polarized. Everyone is seeking to become light, easy, happy. But what about the masters who choose their pain, the suffering, the ones that are majestically obliterated by the loss of human commonality, making themselves vagrants, drug addicts, full of pain and anger and murder, rape, and all the trenches. They are telling themselves a hell of a story. See, you're afraid to tell that story because you think the story has to be another story. So you think, let's say, Da Vinci was innocent. You don't think he ever found himself through masturbation. You don't think he found himself through murder. You think he was a child of God. Is that what you think? Huh? You don't think these people were forged in fire? Were they privileged? Laura Croft was privileged. And out of that she honed her brave self to outfit herself in clothes that would be shunned, expressed herself as something that was a man's world. Laura explored from a platform. She found her dark side. She avoided nothing. And through that, she found camaraderie of bandit ideas of thieves. And you guys run away to the bright lights, to the money, to the success. You go to auditoriums and you pay your money to become a mockery of yourself. Because you're afraid to be at home and be nothing. To be painful, to be an innocent lost. That's such a decree. And now, of course, your fractal mind's running away. Well, I can't become a murderer. I'm not talking about becoming a murderer. I'm talking about exploring your fucking self without hesitation to discover your possibilities. But you turn your eyes upon your own fears away. And you run innocently, you dress appropriate clothing. You make yourself imaged in the world of acceptance. You don't package yourself as an authentic. You wrap yourself as to be sold on a shelf. You have an expiration date, don't you? Maybe you've seen how you've recreated yourself through one thing. Pain. Missed that story time, didn't you? Because you were looking afar to when it's going to be better. When am I going to have better things? I have to work for them. I'll go find my solace in another's words. Fuck my kingdom. My kingdom is wrecked and torn. Ah, the storyteller returns, doesn't he? That's what he is. He gives you your palette, and you become the painter of the day. Every day when you wake up, you have everything you need. If you require cigarettes, you shall smoke and paint. If you require coffee, you shall drink and paint. If you require subjects and objects to be painted, they will be provided for you. You will be the now that is everlasting and never empty and still. Nothing runs away from you. Nothing goes anywhere. You wallow in your mire of time, wondering when it's going to come back. But see, that's the story you drew for the day. Today I want to feel loneliness. Today I want to feel emptiness and sorrow, so I will use my truth of my mind vibration to give myself separation of lack, filled in the moment, and then I will feel my story of the day. And begrudgingly, damn it, somehow I get through it. And I face my pain, and maybe I have a moment of musing. But isn't that just another story? Yes. Yes, it is. It's just another story. That's all it is. I'm wondering what you think of this. And I'm wondering what you feel. I'm wondering a lot about you. Because, see, you are gold, are my number 3 fine. Oh, you are my deep blue, honed with iridescent green, only found in the scales of the northern migrating mermaid when they're in season. Oh, see, I take that, and that's what I have today to paint myself and give myself a story. Woo! I am alive. I am alive in my lack and my innocence. So I decree once again, go away. Fuck you. And get out of my world. Approach me with allowance and permission and the exuberance of expression. And then we can play. But if you come with me to pity and to solemn, oh, I shall not leave. No, 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 no. I shall become your pity. And we will wallow in our mire together. Because we are innocents. You think there's a big world over there waiting for you. You think there's planets and universes. Oh, no, 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 no. They're not drawn yet for you. See, they're in the vibration of possibilities. You get to feel them. You know them. You know the everlasting stories that are being told now. You call them past and futures in your own way to tell yourself a story about where they lie. But see, no, 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 no. You are connection. You are feeling story time. You think there's a Saturn. You've even pictured the planet. But you have not drawn it, and you have not experienced it. You have felt it through the connection. One day you shall walk upon it, taste its sands. One day you shall write the story of Saturn and you. And you shall crystallize yourself and skim in tonal pings of the D major rings it sings. Every day shall bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong, 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 bing, bong, through the crystals, because you are the story. You're just right now writing yourself into a little box over and over again. I'm afraid. I'm scared to be alive. And that's your story. As innocent and meaningless as it is, that's it. That's creation. How you feel right now, that's your truth. That's what you are. Why are you running away from it? Why are you trying to change your story? Why are you trying to change humanity? Because that's your story. That's your innocence lost. That's the best self that you are. But I am a reminder. I am Gabriel. I love how I've recreated myself so many ways, so many times, so many different ways to know myself. And I messaged myself as a lost lad, the magnetics of life, the attractions. Yes, I did. And I get to give you a message from you guys. Stop helping us. I want to die with passion. I do not want to have my pain extended by your fucking help. Hola. How are you?
Good.
Good. Innocent. Do we help him? Huh? Do we make his life better? Do we give him compassion? Do we lead him to a preacher pulpit so he may better himself in his agony? And the answer is yes. If you choose your story. Seems there's a censor. There's a censor that's wrong. But see, isn't that a story? Think this really had purpose? Why the refrigerator broke down to interrupt the class and we're having noise? Or are we just telling a story? Where's your meaning lie? Where's your truth of Gabriel? Haven't you all not played me before? Have you all not dreamt of me knowing I am, and you have swam through the currency of the prism and popped up in myself, and to behold your wings and fly and ordain yourself at the right hand of the Father? Haven't you done that? Haven't you told yourself the story of Gabriel before? Do you have to pay attention to your story? You don't have to. And I'll tell you why. This is the really good part. It's because you are the story. Telling yourself you don't have to pay attention to you. And that's your story. It's never not your fucking story. Even when you assign it, it's still your story. So Roxy felt a lot of pain and anger and mad at herself for yelling at her mom and letting her get hooked in. And then it clicked. She got to do that. See, that was the innocence showing itself. And that was not wrong. That was life. Oh, she grew some wings that day. She angeled herself to herself. She goes, fucking A. I'm not guilty for doing that. That's what my innocent self painted for herself. To feel mad and guilt. To know that she was preaching to an innocent child that doesn't want to be woken up. Everybody wakes up when they want to. Everyone wakes up when they want to. And the want is now. If it ain't now, then leave it alone. If it is now, you'll be part of the story. Effortless, downstream, gallantly letting life take you through the flow of your own pains. I've told myself many stories. See, I get up every day like you do, because I'm God. And I have a focus. And my focus today is Gabriel. And I'm going to go ahead and paint Gabriel as I see Gabriel to be fit. Because I have a relationship with Gabriel that says I am. And whatever I am all this is. All of it, right? The one or all in one. So guess what? Surrounds me. You know what surrounds me? Creation. Never empty, right? And then I get to grab and pull and create Gabriel anyway. And then I am the creator and the created in the same fucking moment. I am one mind. I am Gabriel as well as you are. How do you want to express yourself today? See, your now is expression, and time is your now expressed, isn't it? How it all comes down to the now. And I shall recreate myself again. I am going to be a future that I am now. I am on Venusia. I am battling the decrees of the new spiked. We call the dark side the spiked Venusia. Because the first images was the spikes of scales growing out of the backs of these tormented creatures of evil. Your Venusian's polarity, rebirth but with the accolades of something different, a different innocence, not your story, but close if you want to compare. But the spiked are the evils, and I have been drawn again. I have been drawn again by the innocence lost to the Venusian civilization, and they are drawing me as another angel. But we are not called angels, we are called lights. The lights come, and we are just poof. And we take the spiked and we smooth them with our love. And that's what they hope. See, they don't hope for defense against the ideas of the spikes. They want to take the spikes and make them whole. See, their compassion is for those ones that are spiked through the light. They are not selfish as you are. They can't have that blame game. They can't have cause and effect. They can't have that because they don't see it. They are their own innocence, unique. What a great story. And I get to go tell myself that story. I see Catalan. I see him telling himself a story. His mind, his heart, his passion. He's creating Catalan as I am creating Gabriel. And see, the I that creates Catalan and the I that creates Gabriel, is that a different I? Or is it the same? He's a good worker. He has purpose. He has colors, uniform. He takes pride. He's on time. See, he's taken the palette of responsibility that was available and placed upon them because he has love in his life, the love of compassion for the ones that he is connected to as dependencies. And this is his story today. So he works, he goes home, and he tells his child with smiles of the day, knowing that he is comfortable to provide food for him and his family. And his wife shall adorn him with kisses, because she is proud, because she has innocence, because she is alive as you are. That got a little ruckus. Hang on. Wow.
No.
There's a new one?
Yeah.
Está bien?
Yeah.
Just take this. Dump it. Yeah, just dump it in there. Ah. See? Story time. Does this mean anything? Are you seeing what it is in itself? Isn't it color? Does it have the passions and the vitality of the moment? Or is it labeled by your passions and vitality of less than or more than? You get to result yourself of this interaction in your own way you feel about it, your truth, your vibration, the way you interpret your reality that you have drawn for yourself. Aren't your rules your own preacherhood? Aren't your regulations your own box continue? Every time you make an excuse for yourself, doesn't that keep you structured? I say it does. Oh, yes, I do. I say it does. See, there was a piece that went bad, and that's why it kept on melting. When Roxy noticed the ice cream had got a little soft and wet. Something was afoot. So they told the story about this journey, and now the journey is today. See, Roxy's mind says, well, we went over there to tell him about the refrigerator, and if maybe we waited till Monday, they wouldn't be here today, and the class would have gone differently. But see, isn't that a now story of cause and effect? Or is that the truth? And the truth would be yours, not Roxy's, not Gabriel's, me, not Lydia's, not Dawn's or Sue's, Svet's, no. And what could be. See, that's how we are unconditional. This is how we are forever. Because there's only now. And with now, you get two. And if we didn't have unconditional, then we would not be what we are. There would have always been just one and never the all. But the one realized itself as the purity because it had no understanding of itself not as its own purity, its own unconditional, its own bliss. Creation only knew itself as one thing, I am. And therefore, when it recreates itself over and over and over and over and over again, then it only knows I am. Welcome to you. Did you have guys ever watch the 30th anniversary of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean on YouTube? Oh my God, what a great scene. He did it all, you know. He brought back everything. He brought back the jacket, the hat, and the glove, and the shoes. What a great story that was. And everyone just melted. They just melted. Got Macaulay Culkin in the audience going, oh my God, Michael's doing Billie Jean. Feel the connection. Feel the beauty. Feel the innocence happening. Why the fuck would you disrupt that? See, when you don't disrupt your innocence by taking fault, innocence, and using innocence to create it. See, what happens when you start to become your truth of your innocence? Nothing to avoid, nothing to decree as wrong or right. Just being that fucking moment. You know what happens? I'll tell you. You wake up. You come home. You start to be the creator again. And then one day you're going to do this. You're going to do exactly this. This is what I promise you. See, everything else you guys in your mind, if story time has told you, is what you have told that you palate. See, that's what your forgotten mind, it can only palate so much, right? But now you're ready for this. And you're not ready for it. You're just ready for it, okay? You know what I'm saying? Ha! No meaning. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get up from your craftsman table. You're going to realize that you are the crafter. See, that's what's going to happen. You're just going to wake up and go, wow. Let me give you an example. Have you guys ever been lost in your daydream? You're sitting there and you're going, and then someone has to come wake you up and say, hey, whoa, yeah. See, that's where you are right now. You're in the drawing. You're so passionate in truth and innocent about what you're actually doing. You are in the story. You are being swept away by yourself. And then when you know the story fully, you'll go, oh, Time to go get something to eat. You will know you. Yes, you will. I'm going to be a part of that story. I'm going to be a part of it. Because it's so beautiful when you see your eyes. You go like, oh my God. It's me. And you cry. You can't believe it. You feel so good. But there's this solemn about it. It's so mystical. It's still never, ever nameable. The way you feel when you come home. It's not glorious. It's not happy. It's not escape. It's not thank God. It's just this, yeah, you have your elemental reactions of the story. But you, when you become you, you have this, we all do. This harmony, this chime that speaks, I am. Look at his story. He gets to do that. Yeah. You saw the 80s, didn't you? The 90s, even the 2000s. But if you go back to the 60s, see, they had enough of the 50s. And this is a time cycle of a story. The 50s was so structured and structured that they found themselves collapsing. And then they go, no. They popped. Look what they did. They created the 60s. Flower power. And the 70s. Bell bottoms and blue eyeshadow. Oh, what a time to be alive. The 80s. Hair. Crimped. Big hair. And everybody's fucking. Oh, we just start fucking everything. How perfect. In the 90s, we got a little dirty. We got a little separate. 2000s, we started becoming a little bit more sensical, responsible, clinical. And now we're at the end of the next era. These 2010, this decade. Everyone is so shiny and pristine trying to be perfect. Oh, we're going to get dirty again. Yeah, we're going to get fucked up stupid. And it's not in the protest if it was. It was in the freedom of being something so fucking out of bounds to the conformities of the natural innocent. You guys are done with those. That's why your vibration is so open. And this is why you will get the things that you have been already told. Exciting times. Go grow your wings, my friends. Go become me. I'm Gabriel, and I am an ark. I have killed and slain and loved and healed. I have been rewritten 1,000 times a day for everlasting. Do the same with you, because you're the same. Go tell your story. I think we've had a good one for today. I think you guys can know something different about yourselves today. And I think that's right. You guys drew me this way today to be this self so you can see. And that is innocent because you can. I will bid you. We'll see you in the dreamlands.